Is my screen visible? Are you able to view my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, right. In the last session, we have discussed about JavaScript data types. Okay, we have two types of data types here: primitive or non-primitive. In primitive, how many data types we have in JavaScript? Can someone please reply me? In JavaScript, how many primitive data types we have? F7.
Yes, sir.
How many data types we have?
5. In JavaScript, we have 5 data types, sir. In primitive,
How
we
many?
have 5.
Five primitive data types we have. What
Yes,
are
sir.
they?
String, number, boolean, undefined, and null.
Null. Okay. In Java, how many primitive data types we have? 8. Right?
Yes,
Byte
sir.
to, start to, into, float to, double, long, boolean, and char. Right? So regarding to integer numbers, float, double, integer, all values, this type of all values we can store in number type. Those are number type only, right? So those values we can store in number type. Here we have number type in JavaScript. In JavaScript we have number type. Whatever it is a integer value or float value, double, whatever we are storing in number type. Okay, those are number type. Regarding to string, you know already. So char value or string value we can store in string type of data type we can use. And for representing true or false, we can use boolean as same as in Java. And undefined, if you are not defining in where a you are not defining any value, then considered as undefined. As you know already, null. Okay, null represents null value, no value at all. Okay, so those are the some primitive data types. We already we have seen that examples also in the last session. In this today's session, I'm going to cover the topics of control statements, means conditional statement. If else, if, okay, then switch. Next, looping statements, for loop, while loop, do while loop. Okay, then we'll see some functions. Okay, whatever I'm showing here, those programs now itself you can practice. Okay, I will ask you, I will choose one person here, so he will explain those programs. Okay, right, listen clearly and try to practice with me. Okay, uh, I have given assignment these operators. How many members are completed these operators? Regarding to operators, F7, have you completed those operators programs?
No, sir.
Okay, you can complete in the next session. You have to explain some operators. Okay,
Okay, sir.
right. Today I'm going to explain about conditional statements. Those are if statement, if else statement, if else if statement, and switch statement. So, in which situation we can use if condition? In which situation I can use if else? When I can go for if else if? When I can go for switch statements? Okay, already these things you already know in C and Java languages also. Okay, you can use if to specify block of the code to be executed if the specific condition is true. When condition is true, so what are the instructions available in the if statement? Those statements will be executed. Okay, there is no else statement. Next, if you go for if else statement, you can use else to specify block of code to be executed if the same condition is false. If condition is true, then what are the statements available in the if condition? Those statements will be executed. If condition is not true, then else statement will be executed. Then if else, else if. Then if you go for else if, so it specify a new condition to test if the first condition is false. The first condition is false means it is going to be execute specify new condition to test. So we'll see these examples, then we can understand easily. Already you know this about this conditional statement. Same as a switch statement also, instead of else if we can use switch. The difference here is, so if you use switch statement, we can use with the numbers and characters also, character strings, numbers we can use. Okay, those examples we can see here. Okay, coming to if statement, it evaluates the content only if expression is true. Here is the syntax. If, then within the if we can write the expression. If the expression is true, then what are the statements available in the if condition will be executed. Okay, here we have one example. We will see this one. So I'm going to take one by one example. Last session we have shown this, how can you find the type of the variable, type of which type of variable it is. If you use 20, it is number type. If you use string, means it is string type. Those we have explained already. So now I'm going to show you how we can do, how we can execute this control statements. I'm going to take an example here. Statements examples. Okay, yes, all of you are able to view my screen, right?
Yes, sir.
Tell me, how can I write a script here? Type equal to text as JavaScript. Okay. Same thing you can use Notepad and some other IDs also, like Visual Studio, Sublime Text, Notepad plus plus, whatever it is. Okay. You can execute through the browser this all the programs. No need only Eclipse IDE. Okay. Alright, now we can see the example of if condition, how we can write. You know already some logic. Okay, so I just use some examples, but you have to practice with some other logics what you practice in the C and Java language. Okay, in the script tag, I'm declaring one variable. How can I declare variable? I can use var, I can use let, or I can use constant. Okay, I'm using var here, var variable a equal to variable name a here, and I'm going to give some value 10. Okay, then I'm going to check the condition. If I need to write here a greater than 5, then how can I print? How can I print? How can I print in JavaScript? In the browser? In the browser, how can I print? What is the statement I need to write here? Document dot write off. Document dot write off. In console, in the last session we have seen in the console, you are able to write type of A. You are able to find what type of variable it is and all, right. So if you want to display the output in the console, you can use console.log. Okay, you can use console.log statement. Okay, so now I'm going to write this statement, this output on the browser, so that I'm using here document.write statement here. Okay, uh, what condition it is here? The value is, value of A is greater than message I want to display on the browser. Okay, Yes. See here, I'm going to print this. Then what is the condition here? A greater than 5. A greater than 5. Then if the value of A is how much? 10. Is greater than 5. Condition true or false? 10 is greater than 5 or not? Yes, 10 is greater than 5. Now the statement returns what? True. If condition is true means this statement will be executed and displayed in the browser. Right click, run as server, or you can use right click, open with Google Chrome browser or Internet Explorer browser, whatever you can display. So if true means what are the statements available in the if condition, those statements will be executed. Okay. If not to true, see, if not to true, what happened? See, nothing will be executed. Why? We did not write else condition. If else happen, what we need to write? Those things we did not write here. Okay. If true means then only the statements will be executed. Okay, that condition only we have written here. Okay. So anything value divided by 0, that means what? Infinity. So in that situation I can use this if condition. Only true, the condition only true. I don't want to go for else statement, else then I can use this if condition. Okay, any doubts here? I think you really clear about this if statement. I use the comment section here. That means these statements will not be executed. So the executor, JavaScript executor will not execute these statements. Okay. Multi-line comment I used here. Next, next is what? JavaScript if else statement. That means what? It evaluates the content whether the condition is true or false. True or false. Here we have syntax if true, then expression. The expression is true, then what are the statements available in this condition? Those statements will be executed. Else, other than else, then we can go for else statement. If not true, else means here what? If condition is not true, okay, then it will execute the statements available in the else block. Okay, so that is the condition. This is the example here. How can I print even or odd number? How can I check whether even or odd number? Even number is even or odd. So we have condition a modulo 2 double equal to 0, minor equal to 0. That means so that is even number. If not means that is odd number. Okay, you see that example here. If else, in the script I am going to write if condition and else. If expression is not true, then it is going to display statements which are available in else. So I'm going to take a variable a equal to 20. I am declared here. So here a modulo 2 double equal to 0. The result is 0. Then I can say, how can I print now? Document dot write off. Document dot write off is even number else. Documented dot write off. Document a is odd number. And we will see what will happen. Right click, run as on Java server. Run on server, then finish here. It is going to display. A is even number. The 20 is what? Even number. 21 here. F5. So A is odd number. I think you understand, right? If condition is true, then it is going to execute what are the statements available in the if condition. If condition is false, then else statement else block will be executed. Okay. That's all about if else statement. What is the next one? If else if. See the syntax. So when I can go for if else if, it evaluates the content only if expression is true from several expressions. We have several expressions. So if only the condition is true, then the statement will be executed. See this syntax here. If else if we are writing condition, so if condition is true, then this content will be executed. Okay. Uh, if not, if the statement is false here, if returns false, then it is going to execute else if statement. So it is check here the expression is true or false. If the expression is true, then this content will be executed. If it is not true, then it will go for other else if statement. It will check here the expression is true or false. Then if it is true, this statement will be executed. So even this is also false. This is also false means then finally it will go for else block. Okay, here else block, then else block we can see here all the statements what are available in the above else statements. All the statements are not true. Okay, so those things we can display by using this if else if statement. Right, we have an example here. So we have taken one variable a. If a double equal to 10, then a is equal to 10. If else if it is not true, then it is going for else if statement. Okay, I will show you in the Eclipse. Are a equal to 20 same. I have taken one variable. Then if statement, then what? Else if syntax. Use the syntax here. Then else if again I will be check. Finally else. So this is the syntax for if else if ladder or if else if statement. Okay, now I'm going to write one expression here. Here a 10. So what I can display? A is equal to 10. Document start write off. Here equal to 10. Same thing you can write statements, else if statements, else if statements, then finally else statement. So here we can check condition a double equal to 15. Okay, a is equal to 15 here. If else if a double equal to 17, then 8 double equal to 20, then we can display a is equal to 20 here. Next, uh, if any statement is not true, it is going for else statement. Finally it will display here a is not equals to 10 comma 15 comma 17 comma 20. Okay, all of you are getting. So first it will check the condition true or false in the condition. If a value is 20 here, 20 double equal to 10. Is it true or not? What it will return? False, right? That means it will not be executed. Next, it will check for other else if statement. Okay. So a w equal to 15. Is it true? True or false? Can someone please reply me? E8
True, sir.
LC. What about this condition? What it will return? Same like you already learned in Java, C and all.
A is equal to 10.
A w equal to 15. True or false?
False.
False. Okay, that means it will not be executed. Next, a w equal to 17.
False.
False. Next, a w equal to 20.
True.
True. That means what? This is our output. So now it is going to display a is equal to 20. These all are not printing, that is, those are not true. Okay, we will see, we will execute this one. A is equal to 20. Only one statement we executed. Okay, true statement. Okay, if it is also not true, what will happen? If this statement also not true, then what will happen? What is the output now here?
A is not equal to 10, 15, 17 and 20.
So output is a is not equals to 10, 15 and 17 and 20. Alright, that's about if else if ladder or if else if statement. Okay, we have nested if also. If you want to see, you can see. Okay, what is nested if? Document dot write out I given variable a equal to 8. Then if a less than 10, 8 less than 10 true, then it is going to execute the statements available on the in the if condition. Next, again I have written if condition. Here I am checking a 8 less than 9. Yes, true. That means it is going to execute nested if. Otherwise, if the both true or not true, then it is going to execute the statements available in the else block. Okay. We'll see here. Into browser, fresh file. So nested if. See, because these two conditions are true. If it is also not true, so this is 8. Then what will happen? Else block will be executed. This is going to print out. So that means what? Within the if condition, I can write another if. Okay, in this also I can write nested if. Next, next conditional statement, that is switch. How you have written else if else ladder, how you are using, which purpose you are using, same purpose I can use switch also. But why I can go for switch means, here I can use we can use with numbers and characters, etc. Okay, and I'm going to write one program for the using switch. So I'm going to declare one variable grade. Okay, we are giving here um, Mr. What result, whatever result I am getting, that is I'm storing here the result variable I declared here. Next, the switch statement this grade so that we can select one option. So now the syntax is what for this? So first we need to write the cases value. Then I'm storing that result in the result variable. Result equal to this a grade. Uh, to break this statement, I can say if true, it will print. Then it is going to break. Otherwise, it will print all the cases which we have written in this. To break the statement, you can use break. Case next case. You can use characters, strings, and numbers also. Okay. Instead of case A, I have written like here. Instead, you can use characters, strings, and numbers also. Then I'm storing in result. Result equal to this is about B grade. Okay. Name then break this statement. This C. Then here I'm writing the result, storing the result. Uh, right. Finally, three statements I checked whether these statements are true. So one statement will be executed. Which statement is true means that statement will be executed. Otherwise, in if else if statement you have written if else if finally else you have written right here, that one we can write by using default. So finally result equal to here no grade something error messages right. Okay. Finally, I can print this one. How can I print in the browser document dot write method I can write by function. Here the result I'm going to display result and with semicolon. Now we can see that result here. Yes, all of you are getting my voice clearly. I click run as run on server finish. What happened? Switch B grade. What is the error here? Document dot write of result. So here B is the output B grade because I have passed that value. Grade is BI grade. Okay, we can select one statement here. Then I am going to give one change the grades here. That means so C value data will be selected and we are going to display that grade. So okay. That's about switch statement. Any doubts still here regarding to control statements? Yes, all of you.
No doubt, sir.
Okay. Please note these programs. You need to execute now itself. Okay. Next, these are the Java conditional statements. Next, we can go for looping statements. Okay, JavaScript loops. So how many loops we have here means nearly 4 loops. So for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for in loop. For off loop also there. Okay, but we are discussing here only for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for in loop. Okay. Alright. What is the purpose we need to use loop now? Instead of writing number of variables in a equal to 10, a equal to 20, equal to 30. So instead of writing and printing, we can repeat the loop here. We can iterate, we can traverse that element. Okay. So the loops are used to iterate a piece of code using for while loop or do while loop or for in loop. Okay. These loops we can mostly use in the arrays also. Okay. Right. This first we are going to discuss about the for loop here. So when I can go for loop, someone please reply me. When I can go for loop, when I can go for while loop, when I can go for do while loop. Tell me. Yes, all of you. D7, 564, 561, 562, 582. You already know about these loops. When I can go for loop, when I can go for while loop, do while loop. What are the differences? D9, D7, D3. C2, C3, C5, C6, D3, D4, D5, D7, D8, E0, E3, E3.
Yes, sir.
When I can go for loop,
For loop, when we know how many iterations we have to do, we can use for loop. And while loop, if we know some condition, until then we have to do iteration, we can use while loop.
okay, do while loop,
Do while loop is like it enters the loop at least one time, so we can use
yes,
some
complete.
extended case of while loop.
Okay, okay, for in loop I will explain where we can use subjects also. Okay, right. First for loop. For loop, what is the purpose we need to use for loop means? So when I can go for loop means, so to iterate the elements, to iterate or traverse the elements, we can use this looping statement. When I can go for loop means the elements for a fixed number of times. Okay, if you are iterating elements for fixed number of times, so fixed number of times means we can go for loop. Okay, so that means what it should be used if number of iterations or no, how many iterations you want to do. So if you know that number, then I can go for loop. Okay, here JavaScript for loop iterates the elements for the fixed number of times. Fixed number of times it should be used if number of iterations or no. If the number of iterations are no, I can go for loop. What is the syntax for loop? For initialization in Java, int a equal to 10, a less than or equal to 10, a plus plus, I plus plus, whatever. So in that way we can write same here also, where I equal to 0, I less than or equal to 10, I plus plus. Condition initialization means we are declaring and giving value to that variable. Okay, And condition, we will check the condition a less than or equal to 10. Now the condition is true or false. If the condition is true, then what are the statements available in the for loop? The statements will be executed. Then increment operator will work. That means I plus plus 1, every time we are going to add one value. Or I can use I plus 2, I plus 3. In that way also I can use. Okay, this run the logic and going to write that for loop. Okay, you know fixed number of iterations. Okay, this is an example I'm going to write. This statements also completed here, commented here. Next, looping statements. So looping statements for loop, right? For loop for first time. This is in script tag only, right? Okay, this is in script tag, no problem. Tag is inactive. Now I can write here. For loop. What is the syntax for loop? For tell me someone. For first initialization equal to 1, I less than or equal to 10, then I plus plus. Okay, increment operator. Next I can print this one document dot I dot. I'm printing I value. And the next line. I want to show this one in next line, so I'm giving break here. HTML tag break should be, we can use concat operator here. Now I can run this one, run as server, finish it. See here the iteration 1 to 10 values I have printed here. Do you know how this will work? First I equal to 1. Okay, now I value is what? I value 1. Next, condition. Condition means we need to check whether the condition is true or false. I less than or equal to 10. I means what? 1 less than or equal to 10. True or false? True. Then it is going to print I value. Then I incremented 1. Okay, next I value here 2. 2 less than or equal to 10. 2 only, right? Next to 2. Next in this way, next I value is 3. Next 3 less than or equal to 10. True. So it is iterate in this way till 10 less than or equal to 10. True means it will print. Next 11. 11 less than or equal to 10. False. Then it is terminating that loop. This all of you are getting.
Yes, sir.
Fixed number of iterations so that I can go for this for loop. If I don't know fixed number of iterations, okay, then I can go for while loop. Okay, here the JavaScript while loop iterates the elements for infinite number of times. Infinite number of times. I don't know the count. So infinite number of times I want to traverse or iterate that elements. Then I can go for while loop. That means it should be used if number of iterations are not known. Number of iterations I don't know about the number of iterations, then I can go for while loop. This is the syntax while and condition. The condition is true, then what are the statements available in the while loop? Those statements will be executed. Okay, this is the syntax. So I declared variable here I equal to 11 while I less than or equal to 15. I value 11. 11 is less than or equal to 15, right? So it is going to print I value. Okay, next I value incremented. I value 12. 12 less than or equal to 15. Then I value true means I value printed here. Next 13 printed, 14 printed, 15 printed. Next 16. 16 less than or equal to 15? No, false. It is going to terminate. So that we can execute here. While loop, I'm going to declare one variable where a equal to, I'm taking another variable I Now value is I value is 11. From 11 onwards, I can repeat the loop here. I'm checking what I need to check: I less than or equal to 15 or not. If true, then repeat the iterations. Next, I'm going to print that value. Write off I value and print it. Okay. Next, I plus plus and print one value. Okay. Now we can see here. Refresh the here. See, you are unable to understand, right? You can understand easily. This must be a string, and we are concatenate here, and we can see we have 5, 11, 12, 13, 14, and 15. After 16, it is going to terminate because that value, that condition is false. Okay. Now still here, this is about while loop. This is about while loop. Okay. Next, then I can go for do while loop. Then I can go for do while loop. If I don't know number of iterations, I can go for while loop. And when I can go for do while loop, if for number of iterations or I don't know about number of iterations, okay. Then but I want to execute statement at least once, okay, before the condition. Then I can go for do while loop. See here, the JavaScript do while loop. JavaScript do while loop iterates the elements for the infinite number of times like while loop. But what is the difference between while and do while loop? Here the code is executed at least once, whether the condition is true or false. Whether the condition is true or false, it won't care about it, and it will print the statements available in the do. Okay. So in that situation, I can go for do while loop, and this is the syntax do. That means what are the strings available in this? These statements will be executed. After that only we are going to check the condition by using while. Okay, checking the condition. Okay, right. We will see this example here. Here I equal to 21. Next document dot write. This means we are going to print that I value. Then it is going to increment. Then condition is checking here I less than equal to 25. If it is true, again it is going to go for do, and it is printing I value, and again it is going to increment. This will continue till condition is false. Okay. See here, I'm going to write the example for do while loop. So I'm declaring variable I equal to 21, and I'm going to start do condition. Here I'm going to print I value documented dot write off. I'm going to write I value. For giving an extra space, I can use that operator, then break statement. So after that, I need to increment that one. I need to check the condition right to repeat it. Sorry, what I less than or equal to 25. Okay, till it is going to uh, print that elements. Okay, so just you can refresh here. 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. Okay, 21. First, how it is going to iterate? So first document that write off I means what? 21. Then I incremented 22. Okay, while I less than or equal to 25. So it is true. Then it is going for again do. The statement will be executed. And same way it is going to iterate the elements till this while condition is false. If false means it is going to terminate it. If 26, I value 26, 26 less than or equal to 25, no, it is going to terminate it. Okay. That's about do while loop. Finally, we have for in loop. For in loop. You know for each loop in Java, right? Same here also we have for in loop. You'll see that example also. See for in. The JavaScript for in loop is used to iterate the properties of an object. So to iterate the properties on object, what is object here? An entity. See here, instance of a class, right? We have studied these things in OOPS concepts Java. So object contains properties, right? So if, for example, I have employee object, employee equal to new employee I have written. So for that employee, I have employee ID, employee name, employee salary, or employee department, or employee address. So those are the properties for that object, right? So how I can iterate that properties? Okay, by using this for in loop. Okay, JavaScript for in statements loops through the properties of an object. What is the syntax for in loop means? For key in object, key in object, key in object. That means if key is I, an object is a employee. So employee in this key. So that means the value available in this key. Okay, that we are going to print. That we are going to iterate. One by one element we can traverse. Okay, syntax is this one for key in object. Okay, this is the example. Okay, HTML document or some paragraph I have written. The foreign statement loops through the properties on object. Something I have written here, that is para. Okay, I think you know about inner.html. See, this is called inner.html. When I can go for this inner.html, if I want to display the data in the HTML by using HTML elements in the browser, then I can go for inner HTML. Inner in HTML. See paragraph tag here, right? That paragraph tag I have given ID equal to demo. So here by using this document dot get element by ID, by using this ID, okay, I can get the value. I can display that value here. I can display the value in the paragraph. I can display the value in the paragraph. Okay, all right. See here. Now I can explain that for in loop. Okay. See example. We have here person. Person is the entity here. Object. Object here. Okay. This is literal object. Okay, in so many ways we can create object. I will explain in the later sessions. Okay, so first here I am going to create one object. What is the variable I can use here? What type of variables we have? Let uh, var and constant. For object I am using here constant. Okay, so that we cannot redeclare or we cannot update this value. Okay, so what is the difference between let var and constant? So can someone please reply me? Let a equal to 10. Can I update it? Can I redeclare it? We can update, but we cannot redeclare. Okay, where a equal to 10. Can I redeclare? Can I update that value? Yes, I can do both. Coming to constant. Constant means I cannot update and I cannot redeclare. Okay, that's all the differences between let, var, and constant. See here, I'm taking one object called person. Person having person name, first name, last name, and the person age. I declared here. That means this object contains person, first name, last name, and age. Okay, so I want to iterate that properties by using for in loop. What is the syntax for in loop? Let key value, key, let key is x here, Then in object, what is object here? Person. Person is object. So for iterating, which element we are storing in the X. Okay. So that I'm going to store in another variable, that is a text here I have given. Okay. That means text plus means text equal to text plus person of X. X means what? Element. Each element. Here X means your first name, and X means last name, and X means the age. We are iterating. Then for giving some space, I am giving here concatenate operator string semicolon. Okay. Now this data available in this variable, right? So that variable I am giving here document dot get element by id demo dot inner html equal to text. I am assigning this value here. That means where is the demo id here? I have written in the HTML paragraph tag. The paragraph tag having demo. That means whatever the text I'm printing here, the text will using paragraph tag. That means so whatever you are writing the data into the paragraph tag, so same way it is going to display. Okay. Now we can see this example. One by one, tell me. Remember this code, and one by one you can tell me. Okay. How can I write? It's all of you. Separately, I can explain. I'm going to take another HTML file. Example for in loop. For in loop. Example. Okay. Next, tell me how can I write one tag. This one tag I can write. This is JavaScript something. Okay. Next tag object properties, right? What is the purpose of for using for each loop or for in loop here? We can iterate the objects. So now I'm going to write one paragraph tag within the paragraph tag. Within the para, that means it is displaying like a para. So ID I have given some whatever it is your wish. I'm giving some demo something. Using this ID, I'm going to display whatever the content we are going to display, that will be displayed like with the para. Okay. Right. Now see I'm writing a script. So directly type SCR control space. Then automatic. And after that, what I need to do? So I'm taking one variable, that means one object person here. The person having properties. Okay. So what are the properties we have here? First name, first name. Okay. First name within the double quotation. Separate with comma. Last name. Or we can use L name. Okay. Within the double quotation comma. Then separate with comma. Age. Age something. Okay. I have given values. Properties values. Okay. That means this person object contains first name, last name, and age. That is Siva, Kumar, and age is 30. So now I want to iterate that properties. How I can iterate? I need to take some variable. I'm taking let. I'm using let here. Okay, let x equal to empty I have given here empty string. Next for each loop, sorry, for each loop. Okay, key. I'm using here let y is equal here y. Object name is what? Person. Object name person. Okay. Uh, Within that, I'm going to iterate that value I'm storing in x plus equal to okay person. Okay, that element is y. Then for giving space and all, you can do this one, right? This one correct only, right? Then after that, finally I can print that values. Can print that values. How can I print? Document within the paragraph I need to print, right? So through the HTML tag, so I'm using document dot get element by id. Here id is what demo I have given, right, in the above. Then can use inner dot html, inner html, sorry, equal to I have in the value by here. Right, now I'm going to print that one. Finish. Where is that one? Within the para, it should display the object properties. Something I have done mistake here. So my same only, right? Sorry, I'm storing in X, right? Next, refresh here, X, right? What is the mistake I have done here? Sorry, semicolon need to be control. Please. Only semicolon is the mistake here. Enter output I'm not getting. Okay, I think you understand, right? So this is also a para tag. Within the para tag, by using para tag, I'm displaying here. Just all of you, any doubts still here? In JavaScript, we can create object like this, or we can use object literal, or you can use new keyword. That means we can create instance. That means a constant p equal to new person. Within that, you can pass the values also. Okay, but instance and the constructor. You can use constructor. In three ways we can create that object. We'll see later. First, have you understood this one? For in loop. Yes, all of you.
Yes, sir.
This is about for in loop. Looping statements are completed. So conditional statement and looping statements are completed. Not only this, we have for off loop also. Okay, we will check in the internet. Okay, do that is as assignment. Remind. Next thing is here functions. You know methods in Java, right? You know functions in C. Same here also we have functions. How can you create a function? What is the use of function? Why I need to use this function? So here the JavaScript functions are used to perform operation. If you want to perform any operation, I can use function. Okay. So main usage of function is what? Code reusability. Advantage of function is what? Code reusability. Less coding. How code reusability we can do? That means we are creating one function. Many times we are using same function without writing another external code. Okay, that means here we are saving the code. Okay, we can call a function several times, so it saves the coding. Less coding, that means it makes our program compact. That means we don't need to write many lines of code each time to perform a common task. If we have common task, that no need to write again and again, just you can write that code in the one function. That function wherever you want, there you can call it. Okay, that is the main advantage of this function, right? Sir, what is the syntax for function? How can I write function in JavaScript? See, this is the syntax: function, function name. Okay, if you want to write arguments, you can write arguments. You can, if you want to return the value, we can return the value. So these type of functions we can write in JavaScript also. Okay, JavaScript functions can have 0 or more arguments. Okay, without arguments we can write, and with the number of arguments we can write. We will see one by one here. So let's see this example. Function, function name, some alert message. Next, in the Java, in the HTML, we are writing one input type button. We are writing one button. Here we are using event called onClick event. OnClick, onload, onBlur. We will see in the later session. So here you can remember onClick. That means you are clicking, you are mouse clicking, right? That means you are entering enter button. You are pressing enter button. To click on that button means, so it is going to call that message function on click equal to msg function. Function name is what? Msg. So it is going to call that method. Whatever the instructions available in that function, those will be executed. That is the example for function here. Okay. Next we will see function arguments. So here we are not passing any arguments. Arguments means what? Passing parameter. Passing parameters. I'm passing parameter here number. So see here we can call function by passing arguments. We have only one argument here. Not only one argument, you can write number of arguments here. So I'm passing one argument, okay, number. So I'm printing n cube here. That means number into number into number. So printing and the displaying in the alert message, like alert message. Okay, how can I call that one? So in the HTML we have written one button. So if you click on that button, on click, and we are passing the argument 4 value, 4 cube, 4 into 4 into 4. Okay, that we are going to display here. So with the argument. Next, function with the return value. We can call function that returns a value and use it in our program. Okay, we can call function that returns a value and we can use it in our program. See here, the return value, function name, get info. We have written some value, string value here. I'm going to return this value. Okay, document dot, we are calling that one document dot write of get info method. So that means automatically it will display, it will return hello JavaScript message. Okay, we can return in that way. We can return the value, we can pass the argument. Okay, next one, function object. Function object, we can create object for function also. See here, var add equal to new. By using new keyword, we are creating object for function, new function. In creating function here, new function. For that I'm passing values number 1, number 2, and return that value, return that addition value number 1 plus number 2. Okay, so how can I call document of write of add? I'm passing the arguments 2 comma 5. That means 2 comma 5 return 2 plus 5 is what? 7. It is going to display 7. So in that way, I can use object function object JavaScript function object example. Function object means need to create object for the function. I'm storing in the one variable. Okay. So we are passing with this function to add 2 comma 5. Okay. Next, same thing here also. So, but here to display the power of provided. Okay. See a new function. I am passing two values 2 and 3 return we are providing math dot power of num 1 comma number 2 in passing that value I am displaying. Okay, power of 2 comma 3 power of 2 comma 3. Okay, in that way I can pass the values and I can create object for that function. Okay, so this you will see here one by one. One by one, tell me. I am creating one function examples. Function examples. Already you know in Java also same thing I am writing here, but it is different. That's only. Okay. Type equal to text slash JavaScript. Okay. Now how can I write the function? This all of you tell me. What is the syntax for creating the function? How to create function? Function name. Function name message I am writing here. Message. I am writing some alert box. Alert message. That means hello JavaScript something I can write hello some message. So alert should be displayed there. So can I call that method? So that should not be JavaScript. That should be in HTML. Okay. So now I'm writing an input tag that is type is what here? Button. The value within the button we should display some message, right? Click here something that I can display value. Okay. What event I need to write for clicking? For clicking, what event I need to write? On click. On click. See here we have number of events. On change. On blur. Okay. On blink. On drag. So these are number of events we have. That we will discuss some. Now on click equal to. So what is the function name here? Yes, all of you. What is the function name? Message. Right? Value equal to right click run as Java server. Finish it. So here click here value. So I'm clicking here on click event will call that method. What is the method? MSG method. So in that I have written alert message. Alert hello JavaScript. That's what displayed here. Any doubts? Yes, all of you. How to create the function? Function name. How can I call that function? On click by using on click event. On click that message. Sorry, that function name I have written. Okay, right. This is one example. Next, I'm putting inside the comments. Next, what is the purpose of function? We can perform operations. We can perform operations. function argument. Next one, function with argument. So we are passing an argument. Okay, how can I pass arguments? How can I pass the parameters? We can pass 0 or we can pass number of arguments here. Now tell me, how can I write? Script tag. So I can write a function with argument. So function name, function name, something get you some number I'm passing. Okay, in that function, uh, can use document dot write, or I can print by using alert message. Okay, so number of number in these values there. I can write input tag, input to type equal to button, value equal to that button name we can use here, value equal to button name, uh, click here something, or something whatever you wish, click here something here. Then how can I click, or event I can use here, on click event, within on click. So I should if I click on this button, so which function I need to call? Get to cube, get cube function, get cube function I should call here. I need to call get cube, and we need to pass some number value. Okay, uh, number value, for something I passed there, I explained, right? 4 I am giving here, 4. Okay, right, we will see the output now. Have what is the function example, right? Okay, this one. If I refresh it here, if I click on this one, so get cube, it is going to call get cube. What's happened? Tell me the mistake what I have done here. Script script type, function or function name, number, correct number, or into number, number. Okay, on click. Can someone reply me? Okay. Something went wrong. Body. input type equal to button, value equal to click, then on click event, on click method name get to view and passing value 3. Okay, so let's alt tab F5. If I click here, see here 27, 3 cube, 3 into 3 into 3. So in the last time what I missed here, have you observed? Yes, all of you. Control Z. Same thing I have written. What is the mistake? Right. Think you understand, right? How to pass arguments? One argument I passed here. You can pass number of arguments also in this way. Okay. Next, this is another example. Next thing is what? So arguments I passed here. Returning the value of the function. Returning value of the function. How can I return that value of the function? Next we will see function object. Function object. How to return the value? You know already how to return the value from the method in Java. Same thing here also we can do. So another tag. So within the script, write function, function name, function name, something get info, some message function. Then I want to return that value. So for return, what is the syntax? Return keyword I need to use. Then within that some string message I am going to return here. String. Hello Sivas or something. Okay, I am returning this value. Then I should return this one. Then I should return. Okay. So directly also I can write into done. Write off. I'm calling that method get info. Get info method I called it here. So if I run this program, it is going to execute. Right click, run as server. Finish here. You can see hello Siva sir. It is returning the value. It is returning the value. Yes, all of you are getting. It is returning the value. Okay. In this way, you can call the method. Okay. That means it returning this value. Okay. This is the example for returning the value of the function. Next, what? Function object. So I need to, I will give some, I'm going to add some values. Okay. So how I can create that object, function object? You will see here. Just a script tag. Instead of this, I can write. So that is also variable. Add is a function. So for that I'm going to create object function. I created object function. So within that I'm going to pass values. So number one, something you can do here, comma, second num2, so return that value, return num1. Okay, next I created function. Now already said, how can you call that one? Document dot write off. Next line, use ln, add. That is the function in here, add, and that we are passing the two values, two numbers, 2 comma. Okay, now I can print it. Right click, run as JavaScript. Finish. So 9 is the value. Yes, all of you are getting. This is all function object. So what is the method name here? Yes, all of you. What is the method name here? We are passing values here, 2 comma 7 to the add. Num1, num2. It is returning num1 and num2. Okay. Result. Num1, num2 result will be displayed. Any doubts still here? What is the time now? Yes, all of you. F7, E8, E3. Okay. Have you understood that function object? How can you create function object? Tell me the syntax. Where, name, and new keyword you need to use here. New function. Within that I'm passing values and returning that value. Right? That's what I have done. Okay. Okay. Let us just revise all the things here. So what we discussed till now. Conditional statements, those are if statement, if else statement, if else if statement, nested if statements, switch statement. Then conditional, next looping, for loop, while loop, do while loop, and for in loop. Okay. Next we discuss about the functions. Uh, what is the use of function? We can perform operations, and what are the advantages of function? Code reusability and less coding. So can I write what is the syntax for function? Function name, and we can pass number of arguments, and we can return the value. Those examples we have discussed till now. Okay, all of you. That's all about the function. Next, JavaScript objects. Just now you have seen, right? JavaScript object, function object, new function you have written, right? So that is also an object. In 3 ways we can create that object. Okay. First to see the JavaScript object. Here object means what? Entity. Example for entity: car, pen, bus, employee, college, whatever it is, entity. So that contains properties. See here, an object contains state and behavior. State and behavior. Object contains what? State and behavior. Yes, all of you. Can you hear me? The object contains state and behavior. State means what? properties of that object. Behavior means what? Functions of that object. Functions are methods of that object. For example, see, we have car entity. Car is an object that contains car name, car color, car engine, something, some properties. So that represents state of a car. State of car means what? Car name, car color, car engine. And behavior is what? What functions it is doing? We can start the car, we can move the car, we can ride the car, right? So those are the functions. That means behavior. That means an object contains state and behavior. Next, another object called pen. Pen is an entity, right? What are the properties we have for the pen? Pen name, pen brand name, pen color, and all. What we can do by using the pen? What operation we can do? Write operation we can do. If it is employee, what are the properties for employee? Employee ID, employee name, employee address. Okay. What employee can do? Can read, can write, can walk, whatever. Those all are the operations. So that means behavior. So that means the object having state and behavior. So how many ways we can create the object? We can create the object in 3 ways in JavaScript. We can create that object in 3 ways. First one, object literal. Object literal we have seen. Constant person equal to within the bracket first name equal to last name. We have written, right? That is object literal. I covered there itself. Next, by using new keyword. Just now we have seen new function. By using new keyword, we are creating object. That is creating instance of object directly by using new keyword. And another one, by using an object constructor. By using object constructor, there also we are using new keyword. Okay, so in this way we can create objects in JavaScript. JavaScript is an object based language. Everything is an object in JavaScript. JavaScript is a template based, not a class based. Okay, nowadays the in JavaScript we have classes also. Okay, it is updated. Okay, here we don't create class to get the object, but we directly create the objects. Okay, so in our syllabus there is no oops concepts regarding to JavaScript, but we have oops in JavaScript also. Okay, here JavaScript template based, not a class based. That means we need not to use class here. We don't create class to get the object. While you are getting the object, you need to create class. Okay, but we directly create objects here. We can directly create object. We need to create that class. Okay, that is the difference where we created object in Java and in JavaScript. Yes, all of you are you getting? Example for JavaScript object by object literal. Yeah. Object by object literal. How many ways we can create object in JavaScript? Object literal, creating instance of object directly, creating by using object constructor we can create. So first literal. Literal means what? Object name and some properties and values. Property value, property value. This is the syntax. For example, employee, employee ID, employee name, employee salary, and we are assigning the values for that properties. Right? This is called what? Object literal. Object literal. Coming to object creation by using instance. That means by using new keyword. See here, where syntax, where object name, new object. Okay. So here new keyword is used for what? By using which keyword we can create object here? New keyword. We are creating object by using new keyword. Okay, see here where and emp new object, new object. So employee is an object name here, emp dot id 101 we are assigning value, so that is stored in emp. Emp name we are giving, emp salary we are giving, that we are printing here. So in this way we can create object in JavaScript by using instance. Next we can use constructor also, object constructor, that we can call object constructor. Okay, here we need to create function with arguments. See, just now we have seen function, function name, number of parameters. Okay, so for representing current object, current values, we can use this keyword, right? You know in Java also. So I can use this dot id. equal to id. We are passing value here, that value we are storing in this id, in this name, in this salary. So those values we are passing here through the constructor. This is constructor. E equal to new emp, new object is creating object, new emp, constructor object, emp. Okay, values we are passing in this way also we can create object in the JavaScript. Okay, so JavaScript objects we have like JavaScript array. Okay, regular expression objects we have. How many yeah, same, if you know object, how to create object in JavaScript in 3 ways. Same thing for arrays, strings. Okay, date functions, okay, math function, number object, boolean object. So these we will see in the next session. Okay, yes, all of you, are you clear about this? We will see that example in the next session, the tomorrow session. Okay, any doubts? Any doubts, all of you? Are you clear about this? Still here? Are you clear? Yes. Okay.